Here's the big question. How is it that most entrepreneurs hustle and are always busy and struggle to take just one step forward only to fall 2 steps back? They're dedicated, determined, and driven, but only a few finally break through and win. This show uncovers those quantum leap patterns of highly successful people so you can simply model what they do and apply to your future success. That's the question, and the answers are right here. My name is Brigitta Hoeferle, and this is the Success Patterns Show.
And that is right. Welcome, everyone, to the Success Patterns Show on this beautiful Tuesday. My name is Brigitta Hoeferle. I am the founder of the Success Pattern Movement and the CEO of the Center of NLP, where we put the do in learn, do, teach. This show is designed for you, for your success, with your success in mind, because the quality of your success and my success starts with the attitude towards it. Success is an interesting thing. It shapes its meaning within each individual success seeker. And we have some great, not just success seekers, but success successors. If that is a word. If not, I just made one up. Success is modeled in patterns, strategies, and behavior. And you probably have heard Tony Robbins say, success leaves clues. I say, success comes in patterns. And when it comes in patterns, and when we're able to see patterns, we can decode these patterns that led to our guest expert's success, so you can then encode it into your own life for your own success starting right now. Because as humans, we are hardwired for hands-on application. We don't learn a language that is success by reading. That is for theoreticians, and they only talk a good game. Here are grandmasters at work. So that means that you're at the right place, the right time, because success is already yours. Today is a great show. Stay until the very end. Our guest expert came bearing gifts. Yes, that is a plural. We have a powerhouse today. I was actually invited on her podcast, and I loved the energy so much and what she had to say that I invited her on the Success Pattern Show. She is here to serve with her story of personal life as a lady who suffered from childhood trauma and choose to remain a prisoner until she began to ask questions. If you've ever followed me say anything, it is the quality questions and then receiving the answers that made a huge impact and breakthrough in her own life. She's authentic, and I can say that. I will second that all day, every day. She's authentic in providing real value, meat on the bone, no fluff, and she is an exceptional leader in her own right and in her own field. She is the host of one of the most internationally recognized podcasts on personal development. Hello. The Life Well Lived is her podcast. She calls herself a serial entrepreneur. That's a really good thing, by the way. And her mission is to provide disruptive mindshift insights to her audience. That means to you right now. So make sure that you have a pen and some paper, because it's time for you to transform your mindset for reinvention. Ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome, please, to the Success Pattern Show, Miss Omobola Stephen. Oh my goodness. Welcome.
Hi, Brigitta. Good to see you once again.
Yes, good to see you, and thank you for coming on the Success Pattern Show. So
glad to be on your show once again.
Oh, beautiful. So Omobola, you are known for self-development. You're known for real information. You're known to help other people break a pattern to transform and create their new reality. Is that for business or for personal? Tell me more about who you work with.
Yeah, thank you once again, Brigitta, for inviting me on the show. Yes, that's a really good question that you had. Yes, I provide disruptive mindshift insights to my clients. Now, generally, not just for personal development, I also emphasize business, family relationships, and the likes.
And would you say that all personal problems are business problems and all business problems are personal problems?
Not at all, Brigitta. We need to define that.
How do you define?
It's because your personal issues are quite different from your business issue. Sometimes they can be interrelated, but really we need to define them in order to be able to get clearer definition and also clearer paths to what we really achieve in life, especially when we're looking at the solutions, right? We can cluster the challenges that comes our way, both personally and in business. We have to define them. What I'm going through in my personal life, I can't bring it into my business. And what I'm going through in my business, I can't bring into my personal life. So I believe that we need to define it properly.
And yes, and I fully agree with you on that. And would you also say that there are people, a lot of people, that bring their personal, and we're going to call it stuff because it's a technical term, they bring their personal stuff into their business and wonder because they're not successful in their personal life, and then they wonder why isn't that working in their business, and vice versa. Have you seen that?
Definitely. I think that this mindset, the faulty mindset and programming that we all have during our childhood, even till adulthood, plays a major role in our lives, right? It cuts to our relationships, then it cuts to every other areas of our lives. And so it's very easy for you to see someone who has personal issues that they're struggling with in their home or in the personal life, and then they take it back to the business. It begins to affect them in the business, because when you are not whole personally, it's going to affect you in other areas of life.
Ooh, you mentioned the word whole, right? When we're not whole. What does whole mean? Like when people come to you, how do you define that they are not whole?
Being whole, I mean that I'm going to talk about physically, mentally, spiritually, psychologically wise. Those areas are very important for us to focus on when you really want to have a tranquil and a purpose-driven life. We need to focus on those areas. So that's very important for me. That's what I really emphasize on when I'm having my sessions with my clients. I believe that you can't separate one from one another. If you're focusing on the mental aspect, how about the spiritual aspect of the person? One area may be lacking, and the other area may be okay. But once you are able to focus on the totality, on the wholeness, and I think that that's the only way you can really get the best result.
I agree with you. When you have success in one area in your life, we can, like I said earlier, decode that success and then encode it in other areas in our life. So then it does become somewhat interrelated in a good way and not in a bad way, right?
Absolutely.
So you're a business consultant. Did you one day just wake up and say, okay, I'm going to be a business consultant? Or did you grow up and your parents or someone in your family or in school said, Omobola, you're going to be a business consultant? Tell us about your story.
Yeah, I always believe that life is in phases, and adversities comes to us, or the challenges of life come to us, not to kill us, just to make us better, stronger, and be able to fit more into what purpose has for us. Right from the outset, I'd always known that I'm not the buying and selling type of person. Sorry to put that word, permit me to say that, right? I've always known what I wanted in life, but really, in order for you to get to where you really want to be in life, there are some steps that you need to take. And so I had to take steps, which are actionable steps, right? Knowing fully well that I have the gift of coaching, I have the gift of mentoring. So I had to take steps that can lead me to where I really wanted to be. And so that's what led me to where I am today. I was able to discover myself, and it was not accidental. It took a process, and the adversities came to the fore. I was able to learn through the adversities, though they're so painful. And at the end of the day, it brought out who I really am, because I was able to learn who I really am. And I think that's very important, because if you don't know your what, if you don't really know who you are, people will discount you, and then you become lost. And so in order for you not to become lost or not to become confused in life, you really need to know who you are. Once you'll be able to know who you are, then no other voices really matter again. And then you begin to focus on that, focus on what you know about yourself, and begin to work on yourself. And I think that's where the breakthroughs can come in.
You know, we often talk about choice on this in this show, and as I was reading your bio, there was a choice that you continued to be stuck, and then eventually you made a choice to not be stuck anymore. Now, that's easy said, hard to do. How did you do that? Like, did you just have like, you know, light bulb moment, aha, this is what I'm going to do?
No, Brigitta, it was not automatic. Like I tell most of my clients, nothing comes automatically like that. You really need to take a step. When you are in a problem, when you are in a rut, you find yourself in a rut, the thing that you need to do is to have a me time. Now, when you have a me time or quiet time, an introspection, that is the time you need to begin to ask questions. Who am I? What brought me here? What are the lessons I have learned about life? What does life has to offer me? Now, there are important questions when you begin to ask about yourself, about life in general. And I tell you, once you begin to ask questions, the answers will always come. And now the universe will not bring the answers to you directly. It brings the answers to you in form of opportunities. And so it is not left for you to grab these opportunities when they come. Most times it comes in disguise. But you need to be open to these opportunities and see the ones that really align to what you've gone in for in life. And I tell you, once you do that, you're on your way to breakthrough.
But that means that you got to be clear and specific and know what you want. A lot of people know what they don't want anymore. I don't want to be stuck anymore. I don't want, you know, I don't want to be broke anymore. I don't want to be in this relationship anymore. But then what's on the other side? How do you make that shift from knowing what you don't anymore to what is it that you want in your business, in your personal life?
Yes, and that's why I keep emphasizing questions. For me personally, that has worked for me, because I had oftentimes raised expectations in people, and unfortunately, it has always met a brick wall. So I decided in my life that it is zero expectations or low expectations, either of the two. But at a point, I just realized that it is better not to have expectations at all in people, and then to have expectations in myself, to believe, right, that who I really want to be or what I want out from life, it all begins from me. So I think that's where it all starts from. Once you need to begin to focus on yourself, because now we're talking about you. We're not talking about the other person. Now, if you really want to be successful in life or in any area of your life, you need to begin to focus on yourself. There's so many distractions out there. There's so many voices. There's so many things, shits that life throws at you, but you need to be focused on yourself and tell yourself, this is who I am. This is what I want. And once you're positive about life, and I tell you, every other thing that comes around will be positive.
I have a client that I had a coaching call with today, and she likes to say, and this is part of her mantra, high intention, low attachment. And when you're very intentional with what you do and what you ask yourself, for what reason do I want that? What is it that I specifically want? And then not be attached, I think that's a great combination. It's very powerful, don't you agree?
Sure, it does. That's very important, as I said, that you have to come to a stage in life where it becomes about you. It's all about you. Now, that's not selfishness. You need to begin to set priorities, You need to begin to focus on what is truly important. And that's when you begin to detach yourself. That's where the word detachment comes in, where you don't want to attach yourself to things that are not really working well for you, where you begin to tell yourself, are these things serving purpose? Are these habits serving purpose? Is this relationship really working for me? At this phase of my life, is this what I ought to be doing? Is this where I ought to be at this time? Is this conversation I need to be having at this time? There's so many questions you need to begin to ask yourself. You need to begin to ask. And that's where, the universe begins to open up to you and begin to release its bounties to you.
Love the questions. Omobola, what do you value most?
Personally, I value my me time. Yes, so that's very important for me. I'm a very analytical person, and I always like my privacy. I can also say that maybe I'm quite a spiritual person also. And so when it comes to spirituality, I just like to have my me self. I like to converse with myself. I like to have, that scrutiny. I like to have the self-examination. I like to ask questions about myself, about life, about every other thing. And I think at the point, as I do that, meditate, and I think that I get a lot of healing when I take that step.
Guys at home or wherever you are, if you have not written down questions on your paper, this would be a really good time to write down questions because it keeps coming up. Do you have like a self-evaluation process for yourself, or a check-in? How do you stay in balance, or how do you create balance? And it might have even showed up, over the past, 3 years now, as we were going through a pandemic. How do you deal with balance or a lack of?
That's very important topic and an important question you had, Brigitta. Now, the subject of balance keep coming in over and over again. Now we talk about balance in your personal life, in your home, in your business, and whatever. For me, I have come to realize that when you get to a certain stage in your life, you need to begin to choose the kind of life you want for yourself. You need to begin to create the kind of life you want for yourself. Now, if you're in a relationship, if you want tranquil in your relationship, you need to begin to take actions towards what you want. And so I emphasize balance. And how do I attain balance is by focusing on what is truly important. Now, you have priorities that we have on our plates on a daily basis. We have goals that we set for ourselves, but do we really ask ourselves questions? Are these goals, are they going to serve the needed purpose for my life? Are they really important for me at this time? These priorities that I place premium on, is it really important for me at this time? Now, when you begin to do that, you begin to shrink what is not really worth it. And then that's when you begin to attain tranquil, find balance. Now, this is what I really want to focus on. This is what I want to place my energy on. And this is what is going to work. And I tell you, once you focus your energy on what is right, you will see optimum result in it.
Love it. So focusing, I have told my daughter who lives in Munich a while back, constantly reiterating what you focus on expands what you are, where your focus goes, your energy flows, and your results show. And it was until just a few weeks ago when we had a FaceTime call, and she says, I now get what you're saying. It clicked, right? And there's a choice again. You just said it in the last sentence. We have a choice to focus on all the things that are not going right, or to focus on the things that are going right and celebrating them and asking great quality questions of, how can I do more of that? When eventually our time comes to an end here on this earth, on this plane, what will live on from Omobola? So say you would have something that you would put in a time capsule. What lives on?
Sure. To let the universe know that being positive really pays. No matter what life throws at you, so many times shit will be thrown at you. but keep being positive about life, and then things can only become better. And also, when you are convinced or grounded about what you really want out of life, remain stuck with it, refocused, and then your dreams will always come to pass. Not giving up.
Not giving up. Ooh, that's a big one. Because too many people they come to a point and then they even say, oh, it wasn't meant for me, or the universe doesn't have that in place for me, or God didn't want me to experience X, Y, Z, whatever their excuse would be. I'm giving you the microphone right now to talk to exactly those people, because they're quitting. They're quitting not just on everyone else around them, no, but first and foremost, they're quitting on themselves. What do you tell them?
They don't need to quit on themselves. Now, Brigitta, it's easy to quit on themselves, right? Because I've been in this shoe before, right? Sometimes when you hit the success button, people think it's just automatic. They begin to ask questions. How did she get there? How did he get there? Right? But they have never knew the pain that you had to pass through. Even while you are being successful, there are so many shits that still come at you. And then you still have to, being positive about life and keep forging ahead. I think that's very important. Having a fixed mindset, which is a positive mindset, and telling yourself, I don't care the shit that comes my way. I don't want to focus on how people are treating me. I want to focus on what God is doing at this point of my life. I think that's very important. In life, you don't need to focus on what people are doing or what people are doing to you. If you really know where you are going to in life, you need to begin to tell yourself, I'm focused on myself. I know what I want out of life, and I'm focused on what the universe is doing in my life. And that is what is important.
The focus is a big one. Choice and focus. We're humans. We all have our ups and downs. We have our good days and we have our not so good days. When you have a low day, what creates excitement? How do you build yourself up and get excited about what you're about to do next?
Oh, Brigitta, I think it all starts from the mindset. It all starts from the thought process, right? I'm a very positive person, and it didn't really come overnight, right? It takes a while for me to get to the stage of being a positive person. And so what gets me excited oftentimes is the goals that I have on my plate. I wake up on the bed, and that's just the thoughts, that cut across my heart. And I begin to, tell myself, Omobola, this is what you have to do today. These are the steps that you need to take in order to achieve what you want. And I think that's a big thing for me.
So being very, again, focused and driven in what you have on your to-do list, your goals, whatever you want to call them. Beautiful. So I said earlier, because we're about to come to the end of today's show, that you came bearing gifts, and it's not just one. Actually, before we go into the bearing gifts, you do have, and I mentioned this in your bio, you have a podcast, Life Well Lived, right?
Sure.
And you are helping other podcasters?
Yeah, sure. I have a free training ongoing for aspiring podcasters and those who are in the game of podcasting, or not just building a hobby around podcasting. Those who really want to build a career around podcasting, who want to help their game. I have a free online event coming up on November 18th, which is free. They just have to register. They can go to my website, www.omobolastv.online, to learn more about the event, which is for podcasters and also for business entrepreneurs who want to level up the business in the year 2022 and 2023 going forward. That will be coming up in December. They can get this important information via my website.
So they go to omobolastephen.online and they get all the information there. And your event is November 18th. Is it a full day? Is it a half day? Is it an hour?
It's just a 2-hour. It's just a 2-hour meeting.
A 2-hour meeting. So guys, go on Omobola Stephen. I'm going to spell that for you guys. Omobola Stephen, Omobola Stephen, .online. Go there, get your gift, connect with Omobola, go on LinkedIn, connect with her there. I think I have another, a Facebook. Yes, I have a Facebook one as well. Facebook.com/bluebuttonscom.network. So go on Facebook and connect with Omobola there. Go on LinkedIn and connect with her there, Omobola Stephen. That's how you get in touch with her. Is there any other way, Omobola, that people get in touch with you?
Of course, they can mail me at omobolastephen.outlook.com, or perhaps they can send a mail to chat@omobolastephen.online.
So chat@omobolastephen.online is the best way to get in touch with Omobola. Get with her. She's a breath of fresh air. She knows her stuff. She's got a great podcast. Omobola, thank you so much for taking the time, for being here, for sharing your expertise, for giving us insights in choice and focus, and that we have the ability to either get stuck in our old stuff, or that we can break out and break through them, and that we are our own creator, that we are able to make a difference in our own lives. Starts with me. So Omobola, thank you for being here. Thank you for bringing us so many incredible gifts. Thank you for showing up and showing out.
My pleasure. Once again, Brigitta. Thank you for having me once again.
Thank you so much. And for all of our viewers and listeners, we're going to be here again next week, same time, same place, on Tuesday at 4:30 Eastern or 1:30 Pacific. And you guys know your time zones better than I, because I'm time zone challenged. So get with your time zones. Be here next week. Show up, show out, bring a guest. Thank you, Omobola, for being here, and I'll see you guys next week, same time, same place. Ciao.
Ciao.
Thank you for tuning in to the Success Pattern Show at www.thesuccesspatternshow.com. My name is Brigitta Hoeferle.